stream. Right, what's up everybody who rewatches this? I'm just going to be going live, doing a little bit of an update about control token, and just talking about a little bit with whoever hasn't quite, heard about it, that, I decided to do my own project, and I had an idea for a project while I was covering SafeMoon and while I was covering Evergrow, and I came up with this idea. And how I thought of the idea was just kind of like looking at what went wrong. Hey, what's up, Ibrahim Ahmed? How you doing? Hey, what's up, SafeMoon Dog? I remember your name based off of your symbol. Click here, CC. I'm buying your token tomorrow. Awesome, man. I'm glad you like the idea. Sorry, I'm still getting over something. Hey, Mitch Bromwell. Great to see you, man. Great to see everybody. And so I had this idea for a while. I wanted to do it, but people were accusing me of trying to steal SafeMoon holders in order to start my own project because I was talking negatively about SafeMoon, so I decided not to do it. Yeah, I remember your name, SafeMoon Dog. Nothing wrong with Click Here, though. That's a great name, too. And so I had a really good idea for a project. It wasn't just like, oh, let me think of how to make money, and then let me think of an idea. It was like, how do we solve the problems in DeFi? And so, if you were to ask me, like, what is one of the main problems in DeFi, it would probably be, projects and why they don't do well. Mitch with the $1 donation. Thank you so much, man. Always donating, Mitch. Try to mute my coughs for you guys. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Thanks for liking. Anybody that hit a like. And so, what I started with was not like, how do I make money off a project? How do I get rich, right? I could have done that. That's another thing is like, if I wanted to have done that, I could have launched crypto control token whenever I had tens of thousands of people watching my videos. And that project would have done well just because so many people watch me. I could have put myself at the top. I could have given myself a bag, could have bought early. I didn't do that because my goal wasn't to make money off of people losing money. And I could see that there is a reoccurring problem, in my opinion, which is a pyramid structure that's obviously happening within DeFi. And so I think everybody can see that. Like, obviously, everybody wants to be the early buyer because they want to be at the top of the pyramid. Everybody's trying to make that money. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Drop a like. I appreciate that. And so I started with not just any problem, but what I feel is like the main problem in all of DeFi, which is the pyramid structure of liquidity pools. And it was like, how do you balance that? Like, should people when they sell get to sell for tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, and then the project's dead? Now everybody's left with a dead project, and if you didn't sell, you lost. Like, that's the game of the liquidity pool, and that's kind of the game of a pyramid scheme. Is if you're not at the top, you're losing. So for me, I was like, how do you balance wealth distribution? Like, that's where I started was, okay, you can easily just tax the people that are leaving the project, and then how do you use that tax in a way and give that back to the people of the project? And so, through the use of tokenomics, you can start to counter the negative effects of a liquidity pool. But I don't think many people are talking about this. And if you guys have already seen this before, it's going to be the same song and dance, Mitch Bromwell or SafeMoon Dog. Maybe if you've already heard this. I'm going to be telling the same message over and over again to a lot of different people. But the important part is that people understand it. You know what I mean? That's where I'm like, the more I think about it and the more I watch DeFi, I'm like, dude, this is such a good idea. Like, I can't wait to see how it does, because I just don't see how it doesn't do well. It's very hard to imagine this project not doing well. And even if this project doesn't do great, it'll still be better than 90% of DeFi, because the people that, when people leave the project, they leave behind a lot of value, and that value gets left to the people who stay behind. And so you just don't have that in other projects. But the main thing is that I saw was, okay, I started with balancing the pyramid structure. Like, people at the top, maybe they don't get everything and destroy the project. Like, maybe we should take from them and give to somebody else. And so, you take that value that would go in the liquidity pool, and you need to give it out in a way that incentivizes the growth of project. You know, we're trying to keep a project alive and we're trying to help it grow. And the only way to really do that, in my opinion, is to incentivize it. And so the only way to do that is to give value to those who help keep the project alive and to put value there that incentivizes the growth of the project. Liquidity pool, it incentivizes the destruction. It's kind of like failure by design, in my opinion. A liquidity pool is a pyramid scheme that's designed to fail. Once the early buyers take profits, the project's dead. And they're rewarded for doing so, and everybody else is punished for buying into a pyramid scheme or for just not selling the top. And so liquidity pool incentivizes the death of the project because it rewards the people who destroy the project. Whoever does the biggest red candles on SafeMoon or any project that you've been in, those are the people that won. Everybody else who didn't sell lost. Even if your bag was like millions of dollars, if you didn't sell, you didn't actually realize it. And so I kind of accidentally, in my opinion, fixed or started to balance the problem of a liquidity pool. I just started with wanting to shift value from the people that are leaving and destroying the project and give to the people that are staying and keeping it alive. But what that actually does is it switches from incentivizing the project to die and incentivizes it to grow. You know, if there's actual value in staying in a project, then you can incentivize the growth of the project. And that's another thing I say is like I wouldn't do a project unless I felt like I had like an amazing idea. And so, sorry that I'm sick. I'm just getting over this and I just can't seem to finally get over it. The main problem in all of DeFi is going to be the unbalanced structure of the liquidity pool. That's the number one problem. Like outside of bad actors, if you remove all bad actors and you launch a project, the early buyers are going to benefit once they take profits. It doesn't matter what your narrative was. It doesn't matter what the story was or what the utility is. Those people take profits, the chart's dead, and people lose interest. It's going to be very, very hard to get that project alive unless you have a ton of money or some huge insider trading or not trading, but insider ability to manipulate the charts or something like that. Anyways, outside of that, number one problem is going to be whale dominance. Now, when I was covering SafeMoon, I was like, oh, the whales keeping the price down. No matter how much we buy, no matter how excited we get, the whales keep selling, and they won't let us go on another price run. We all want to go on that price run, and they keep stopping it from happening. And you know, there's a couple things you realize is that so much selling power has been given to the people at the top that they can stop the price from going on a run, right? You have to convince them to hold, otherwise they're not going to let that price go. And so if their sentiment kind of comes down, that's where the ceiling's at. And no matter how much we go up there, it only takes a couple guys to put us back down, because that much sell pressure is being given to that few of people at the top of the pyramid. Mitch Bromwell says, CC, I was telling people last week in Los Angeles and Southern California, and now telling random people who are wearing crypto merch currently at Bellagio in Las Vegas. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I was just there. We were just at the Bellagio. That's funny. Temperature is 100 degrees. That's insane, man. Yeah, we're about the same in Oklahoma. It's almost 100 degrees here. It's crazy, dude. I'm not a huge fan of that. The only time I want to be in that weather is if there's a pool nearby. So the goal of Control Token, of why it was born, was to solve the problem, the number one problem that I could see happening in all of DeFi, which is the unfair, unbalanced, not only wealth distribution of every liquidity pool that any project's built on, but also the fact that all the power is given to them over the future of the project, and they have no incentive to help the project grow. You're only incentivized to grow it into your selling point. You don't leave anything behind. Free Gender with the $5. Thanks so much, man. I tried to buy more BNB off of Trust Wallet. They asked for my full name and my social security number. Yeah. The worst part of buying or trying to cash out anything is the KYC part. So BNB on your Trust Wallet. Yeah, it's when you have to go to use your card and stuff and they want to prove who you are. It's super annoying, dude. But if you try different providers, sometimes, yeah, one might be more expensive, but sometimes certain providers are less annoying. But I think you have to KYC through any of them. After a certain value, you have to KYC. It's super annoying. But there might be ways around that. I'm just not sure. I just do the process. So anyways, solving the number one problem is the power of the future of the project is being given to a very small group of people. And it's not just a little bit, it's like all of the power over a future of a project is given to the whales. And the whales are not incentivized to grow a project. So the goal is, like, in order to make a project that succeeds and to deal with the number one problem, to give people what they want, you have to remove bad actors. And so you remove that. You don't have somebody going to steal. You lock the liquidity. You don't give out any free tokens. Don't create sell pressure on your charts. Yeah, it's cool, I guess, to give people tokens and friends tokens and whatnot. Maybe you feel like you're hooking somebody up. You're just creating sell pressure on the charts. You never want to do that. Then you have a pre-sale starting with massive bots happening so that a bunch of people just immediately lose a bunch of people who are using bots. That's a terrible way to start a project. I don't know why anybody would do that. I don't think you can start a project legitimately and like want it to succeed and start it with a pre-sale that immediately dumps on all your holders. That's failure by design. Again, most of crypto I think is failure by design because people aren't really quite trying to solve the problems. Very few are. And then the last main problem that nobody else is dealing with is the liquidity pool and the problems that it creates by incentivizing the destruction of the project. Would you mind going through the pre-sale buying process? We receive an NFT. Does it show our wallet right away? Dumb questions. No. You don't receive an NFT, so you just go to controltoken.net and you just log in your wallet. And then you just send BNB. You just need Smart Chain. So as long as you have BNB Smart Chain and you log your wallet in and you're connected to the site, you just pick the amount of BNB you want to contribute. Once you hit contribute, you have to manually go back to your wallet and hit confirm because it won't automatically do it. So you go back to your wallet, hit confirm, and then it will you'll have the amount showing of the amount you contributed on the pre-sale. It's actually really easy. You just have to connect your wallet using Wallet Connect. Put the amount that you want in. You just have to make sure you have BNB Smart Chain and then hit contribute. That'll be the amount of control token you get at launch, which is nice because this pre-sale, everybody's getting the same price, and we've designed a pre-sale that's going to go up. It's not going to start with downward movement. It's going to start with upward movement, which is like super nice. So everything by design is about the longevity of the project to keep the project alive, and it's about doing things more fairly in a way that incentivizes the growth of the project. So instead of only giving to the people at the top or creating a story or a narrative, whether it be meme tokens or utility or political, whatever it is, it's an idea or a story that's convincing people that they're going to make money that only benefits the people at the top of the pyramid scheme. Like, that's DeFi. That's how I see DeFi. If you disagree, that's fine, but I think that's just something we all know to be true. And it just kind of comes down to when you get in and when you get out. But so many people abuse that system to give themselves the control of, locking, selling, or having a bunch of wallets that look like a bunch of holders, but it's really just like one or two guys. People using bots, people having access to the liquidity pool, and so there's a lot of greed is stopping projects from being able to grow, and everybody wants to create something that grows. So the main reason of why I made Control Token was like, I want to make something that grows. And then I started with what stops something from growing, and I was like, well, it's the whales. Why aren't the whales allowing for projects to grow? Well, they have no incentive to, and all the power is being given to them, and there's no reward for not selling. So there's no incentive to not sell. And so I was like, okay, well, how do we balance this structure, take control back of the project because it's being given to those early holders, and put it in the hands of the people who keep the project alive? And so through the use of tokenomics, you can use a buy and sell tax. The buy is 15. The sell is going to be 20. And you need that to be high because it needs to be high enough to counter the liquidity pool. If it's low, then the value isn't enough to counter the value that's in the liquidity pool. So through the use of doing that, you can take that tax, you convert it into a stable coin. That's like really important, is you have to convert it to a stable coin. After you do that, you separate it from the liquidity pool. So all the value of the buys and sells that's converted to a stable coin, even if the liquidity pool goes down to zero, the value that's been perverted through the tax into stablecoin cannot go down. It can only go up, and the value of it can only go up. Click here. Saw your channel description. I was holding a good-sized bag of SafeMoon and refused to believe that anyone could blatantly screw over the holders who were just wanting to get reflections. Yeah, SafeMoon's a disaster. I think I covered SafeMoon as much as people. I don't think people want to hear about SafeMoon really anymore. There's nothing really to cover other than John's trial. CGA, how can I get in touch with you, bro? Email, Twitter. Twitter is a good place. It's at Crypto Control 3. I'm on Twitter. I've got like 6,000 followers. So just go to Crypto Control. I should be the one that pops up. But if you need the handle, it's at Crypto Control 3. And Crypto Control was taken, 1 was taken, and 2 was taken. So I took 3. I do trust Crypto Control because everything is open to view. Yeah, I mean, alleviating so many problems. Like, you get rid of bad actors. We're not giving away any tokens. We're not starting with the pre-sale that has downward momentum. We don't have access to the LP. We have a way to fund if we blow up. Or the more we do well, we have 2% going to the marketing of the buy and sell. That treasury, 2% going to the treasury of the buy and the sell. That can be used for marketing. That can be used for paying the team. If we do well, we have a way to pay people and reward people who helped the project do well. And pay myself, right? I can pay myself out of that 2%. And so the goal is to create something that grows and that distributes that wealth more fairly, because like it can't just be only the people at the top getting it. What about everybody else? It's like my reoccurring thoughts, like, what about everybody else? We're all just feeding you guys at the top, and like this structure sucks. Well, the structure's that way because of liquidity pool. Nobody's really addressing that. Nobody's balancing it or countering it, and that I see in a way that grows. So by preserving it with stablecoin, and the key, that's the first key, is like use a tax to collect the value. Everybody's seeking the value in the liquidity pool, but through a tax you can collect value that would go in or value that would come out of it. Through doing that, you can preserve it in a stablecoin. So everybody's seeking the sentiment. I always word it this way because I think it's super important that people hear it worded this way. Everybody's seeking the price, the value, the sentiment, the story, the narrative. Those are all attached. The liquidity pool can go way up, way down. As the price goes up, people get more excited, more bullish, they want to buy more. As the price goes down, they lose interest and they want to exit. That's how the project works. So, but they're seeking that value, right? And so by changing that value, or by taking from the value, by taxing everybody who would go into the project, 13% is converted to a stable coin. And so that's preserved value, that's preserved sentiment, cannot go down. That's a preserved life of the project. If the life or the belief in the project is determined by the liquidity pool, by taking from what would go to the liquidity pool and giving it out in the future, we can preserve the life of the project to a certain extent, right? I'm not saying guaranteed, but to a certain extent, yeah, you can't go below 13% of all buy volume going into stablecoin, and you can't go below 18% of all sells going into stablecoin. The second key to that, after going to a stablecoin, what I figured out, or what I came up with, was to delay it, because if you give it out immediately, the whales get the biggest rewards, and they can sell and they can leave, right? And so you don't want to do that. You want to give it to the people that are helping keeping the project alive, and by delaying that, everybody who leaves forfeits all the rewards they would get, and they pay a tax, that sell tax, on the way out. And so we're shifting a lot of value from the people that are leaving the project to the people that are keeping the project alive. If you sell, you don't get your rewards that you would have gotten, and you pay a tax into those rewards. So it's just, that's the entire idea, is to balance it. It's usually like so heavily skewed towards the people at the top getting the most power, getting the most rewards, and it's about getting all these other people to believe they're going to be rich, when in actuality they're going to lose to everybody at the top. That's just a fact of what's going on in DeFi. And so that's another great thing about Control Token, is morally, when you tell people about other projects, they might get dumped on and have nothing left. With this project, you at least know that if a dump happens, everybody leaving the project is forfeiting all their stablecoin to everybody that's staying behind. That's worst case scenario. You're going to get that stablecoin. You're going to share that stablecoin with whoever's left in the staking pool. Best case scenario is that those stablecoin rewards incentivize growth. As buys or sells happen, that permanent future rewards that we've got, the structure we've got, only goes up. So whether buys or sells are happening, they just keep permanently moving up. They can't go down until they get distributed. That's when they go down to zero. And they're spread out through the time period of a year, because we're aiming for long term. Mitch Bromwell, thank you so much for the $1.49. I appreciate that, man. What's up? Click here says, Mitch, CC provided great info on SafeMoon, blew up his own channel to provide truth. Save me. I'm forever indebted. Oh, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm glad. It's always glad. I'm not saying I haven't led people into bad projects or led them to believe in SafeMoon or whatever, but it's always great to hear about like actually helping people. And I hear a lot of stories like that, especially with Evergrow. People tell me like, dude, thank you so much for telling me about Evergrow. And I was like, awesome, man. That's crazy. Like they're like, it changed my life. I was like, dude, that's crazy to think you could have that kind of effect on people, like me starting a YouTube channel. And I want to do it again, and I'm more bullish on Control Token than I am on Evergrow, or than I was on Evergrow, because hey, what's up, George? Can the dev or devs really be trusted? It's me. It's me. DeFi Mark is the contract. We're auditing the contract. We're going to lock the liquidity. It really just comes down to whether or not you trust me and DeFi Mark. If you don't trust him, there'll still be an audit. You can look at the audit to see if you can trust the contract. It's literally, there's not going to be anything other than us working together to do marketing, because this project has everything you need. So it just comes down to whether or not you trust me or not. Some people don't, some people do. You make up your own mind on whether or not you trust me or not. If you have any questions or you want to reach out to me, you can always just ask me right now in the chat, or you can ask me on Twitter. I personally message people back and forth. Any questions you have, I'll answer them on Twitter with voice messages. Like I'm just like, hey, yeah, this is what's going on. This is how the staking works, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, the birth of Control Token was due to viewing the number one problem in DeFi and then trying to fix it through balancing the wealth distribution in a way that incentivizes the growth of the project that benefits more than just the people at the top. And so let's go ahead and do this. How that's done is through these rewards. We want these rewards to be really good. And so if we did reflections, a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people are still hoping SafeMoon comes back. Reflections is a terrible idea. It will never work. Mark is a good guy. Thanks for the info. Awesome. Yeah. Mark isn't like on the team. He's just doing the contract for me. He's not like super bullish on the idea. Me and him disagree on how, but he's told me about a lot of projects that did really bad. So anyways, Mark is a mathematical mind, and I'm a psychological mind. So he's just doing the contract. And so he disagreed with me on some things. I'm just like, it's got to be this way. If the tax isn't high enough, then it's not going to be enough to balance or counter the negative effects of the liquidity pool. If there's all the values in the LP, nothing's in the future, you're back to the same problem. But by shifting a good amount of value into the future, you can create something that can actually help keep a project alive. That's the goal, is to keep a project alive and to distribute wealth more fairly. And you can see that by design, this will do that. Whether we grow a little bit or whether we grow a lot, it will benefit more people than any other project I've ever seen. So if you do reflections, you reward people with the same token, then it makes the people at the top are going to get the most reflections, and they're going to have the most sell pressure after they sell. Everybody else who got reflections, those reflections are going to be devalued because it's attached to the liquidity pool. Reflections is a terrible idea that amplifies the problem of why projects can't grow or be sustainable, which is whale dominance. And so reflections is a terrible idea. And so we want to increase these rewards, and you're going to find that Control Token increases these rewards far beyond what SafeMoon or Evergrow did. And this isn't me crapping on Evergrow. I was a part of Evergrow, so if anybody thinks I'm fighting Evergrow, I'm not. I think Evergrow did amazing, and I think they're trying to do something else amazing. But I'm just talking about the reality of what it is that's going on, and that might offend some people, but don't be offended. So how do we increase these rewards in the future so that there's actually real value to keep the project alive in the future? Well, if you give it to every wallet, I've said this multiple times, which SafeMoon and Evergrow did, they gave it to every wallet, then you greatly dilute all those rewards, whether they be stablecoin or whether it be SafeMoon. If it's going out to every eligible wallet, which is most of the supply, or even like the burn wallet, which is eating half of the rewards, then it greatly dilutes all of that, right? Because it's going to a ton of people that have to share the 2.5% of SafeMoon's rewards or the 8% of Evergrow's rewards. So by only giving it to the people that stake, you increase. Everybody who doesn't stake forfeits their rewards to everybody who does. That already greatly increases the rewards. The rewards will be double. If only half the supply ends up being staked, then the rewards will be double, right? Math and psychology minds thinking about how to make Control Token work. And another reason that it's big is because SafeMoon had, a 5% tax that was going towards reflections, and I believe large majority of that was going towards the burn wallet. Evergrow had 8%, Control token has 13% on the buy and 18% on the sell. A large percent of those who are leaving the project, you're going to be taking the biggest hit because we got to keep the project alive and we've got to give value to other people besides you at the top. We're trying to create something sustainable. Everybody's trying to create a project that lasts on top of a broken structure of a liquidity pool. Like that only works if, like stocks, if it's attached to an actual company that has real value. It doesn't work when you just start a project that's based on an idea or a meme or a utility that's not even built yet. Then that's going to be very bad structure to invest in because people are just going to take the money at the top and then everybody else is going to lose. So it's increased because we're only giving it to stakers. That increases it. It increases it because we have a much higher percentage of tax going towards it. It increases it because it's delayed. All of those things greatly increase those rewards. And so a hypothetical right now is like if you were in SafeMoon and you had all those people, that massive run up and that down, well, if we delayed those rewards by a year, then they wouldn't have gotten, and if we converted it to a stable coin, all of those whales and everybody there would not have gotten their rewards. They would have gotten very small amounts on a monthly basis, but the bigger percentage of the rewards would have been 6 months in and 12 months in. And the 6 months would have been a lot bigger and the 12 months would have been really big. And so nobody's getting their rewards, right? It's all being converted to a stable coin and it's being given out in the future. Everybody who leaves, who sells during this time, they're leaving behind a lot of value. They're forfeiting all the rewards they would have gotten to stablecoin to everybody who's left in the project, and they are forfeiting, they're paying a tax into that as well on the way out. So they're saying, I don't want my rewards, and here's a part of what I'm selling into those rewards on the way out, which is awesome. So that's why I want people to, it's weird when you start to tell people about a project and you're like, they're like, oh yeah, it's your project and whatever. And I'm like, no, you need to understand this idea. Like, just understand what I'm telling you, because I promise you that when this clicks, you're going to be like, holy crap, this is a great idea. Yes, this is what's wrong with DeFi, is the whale dominance, that we're only rewarding people who destroy the project with this structure. Worst case scenario, a big pump happens, a sell happens, and then all that value, that stable coin that can't go down, goes to everybody in the staking pool. And so, with SafeMoon, the reflections were shared with every single wallet, and it was mostly going to the whales. With Evergrow, the whales got their rewards, and then they sold. And then everybody who didn't sell, they might have got their rewards, but they missed out on their opportunity to sell at a high point. They were punished for not selling the project. But in this project, if you delay those rewards, then you forfeit a lot of value. The whales are forfeiting the most value. Technically, it's a large shifting of value to the people that are keeping the project alive. Free gender, what percentage of volume gets divided amongst everybody at the yearly event? Yeah, sure, I'll do that real fast. So 2% goes to monthly rewards of both taxes. The only way to make this simple is to draw this out. You have a buy and a sell. All right, and you've got your monthly, your 6 month, and then your year. This is how the tax structure works. So 2% of buy and sells go towards every month, which is not an insane amount, but it's not terrible either. It's just kind of a taste. The idea is we need to shift a lot of value into the future away from the people that are selling and leaving the project in order to keep the project alive. That's the idea. For the 6 month, 4% will go towards those. And then for the yearly, it's 12% of buys, like I said. Or no, wait, it's not 12%, I'm sorry. It's 7%. And then for the yearly, it's 12%. I got those mixed up, sorry about that. So 7% of buys, 12% of sells go towards the yearly. And so if you have, 12 months, you technically have every month you'll have those rewards. And those are going to be 2% of volume going towards those monthly rewards. So you still get monthly rewards. It's still kind of nice. If a big sell-off happens that month, then those rewards are going to be even bigger. But no matter what, the 6 month, this right here is 4%, right? And this one happens 2 times every year. 4%. And so that what that means is that the previous 6 months are the 4% rewards are always going to be double what the last 6 months were, which is awesome. No matter what, because it's mathematical, the whatever volume happens for that 6 months, the 6 month reward will be double whatever that volume happened for all of those 6 months. And it'll happen at the same time as the 6 month rewards. So when the 6 month is given out, it's also going to be given out as the same time as the 6 month rewards. Hopefully that makes sense. And then that's cool, right? Oh, cool. The 6 month rewards and the 6 month rewards, the one that the 4% tax that built up for 6 months and that final 6 month tax that built up for 1 month out of 2% stack on top of each other for that first one. That's a cool idea. It's going to be the first big reward event that we have, the first taste of like what this project's about. The control event is the 12-month event. And this is what we have on the website. It's a giant moon with a vault door on it. And inside that vault is filling up with stablecoin. That's the design. It's a giant moon vault that we all can be united in. You know, everybody talks about going to the moon with the price, but only the people that sell are going to go to the moon. Only people at the top are going to go to the moon. Everybody beneath them isn't going to get to go to the moon, and they're not going to get a chance to really take profits. The rewards, we can be united in those rewards. The 12-month is 7% of all buys for an entire year and 12% of all sells for an entire year building up. Every month, most of the tax is going towards the control event. But here's the cool part. You know how this, with the 6 month, it happened at the same time as the 1 month? Well, when the control event happens, it's most of the rewards. Plus, excuse me, it happens the same time as the second 6 month rewards. So that 4% tax builds up for the first 6 months. It gives it out. Then it builds up another, that 4% tax builds up for another 6 months. The second 6 months happens the same time as the 12-month rewards, which happens the same time as the last month rewards. And so they all three stack at the same time. You got your month, your 6 month, and your 12-month, which makes it the biggest portion, the control event. It's about balancing wealth. It's about equalizing the structure. It's about not only the people leaving the project winning, but let's reward the people who stay and keep the project alive, and let's do it in a way that incentivizes the growth of the project, not the death of it. That's what all of this is about. It's about taking all this value and giving it to the people who usually get screwed the most. And so there's one other factor that makes the control event even bigger. Actually, there's two. One is that we can do partnerships, utilities. If we're doing spaces and we have a lot of people showing up at the spaces, people want to pay for it, say, hey, we'll give you $5,000 in ETH or something, or in BNB to do the project. I say, okay, yeah, you can do that. We'll do, we'll cover your project. We're not going to pump it, but we'll just talk about it and we'll let people decide for themselves. We take that and we put that in the 12-month rewards. We can fuel the monthly rewards, the 6-month rewards, or the 12-month rewards. And so the goal is to utilize the strength of the community in order to grow the project. And so that would obviously be one way to do that, to make it really good. I'd probably focus on monthly rewards, though, because there's already so much value going towards the 12-month that if we did any kind of partnerships, utility, or whatever that people were willing to pay for, we'd fill those monthly rewards. But the second thing is that if you unstake, you have to pay an unstaking fee. If you unstake early, if you say, oh, I want the 12-month rewards, I'll stake for 12 months, but actually I want to sell my bag, I need to unstake. Well, there's got to be a fee for that. You can't just decide to stake whenever and get rewards. You have to commit to a time period of staking. In order to get those 12-month rewards, you have to commit to staking for a year. You can unstake, but if you unstake, you're going to be forfeiting 30% of your tokens. So what that means is that you have all the volume of stablecoin going towards these rewards, but you also have anybody who leaves the staking contract early, whether it be for the month, the 6 month, or the 12 month, they forfeit 30% of their tokens, and that's all going to the control event as well, meaning that most of if you have a lot of people leaving a staking contract, there's going to be not only all that stablecoin, but a ton of tokens in there that you get as well. And if you're one of those people that are staking early in this project, you stake for 12 months, you can sell your bag. You can always sell your bag. But if you fulfill your staking period, you don't have to pay that 30% fee. And then you can sell your bag without incurring a 30% fee. The good thing about this, it's always about protecting the holders, letting people, not controlling people, letting them leave. But if they leave, they need to not take the project with them. And what they leave behind needs to be given to the people who help keep the project alive. And it needs to incentivize and reward keeping the project alive. So if a large whale in this project is staking and getting a lot of rewards, and then they decide they want to sell, they forfeit all the rewards they get in the future, the 12-month and the 6-month. That's a lot, right? If you're a whale, the only way for the price to be affected meaningfully is also going to meaningfully affect these rewards, right? And so if a wallet staked, they have to pay that 30% staking fee. So they forfeit all the rewards they'd get, and they forfeit 30% of their tokens to that. Then they pay a 20% sell fee into those rewards, and then they can take their profits. That's the entire idea, is we're trying to create something that grows. And it's like, does it need to be that only a few people at the top win? No, it doesn't need to be that way. Why should it be that way? And I think everybody building like if you don't like this structure, then I don't want you in the project. Actually, I'm trying to look and attract long-term thinkers who like the idea of something being long-term. If somebody doesn't like this structure, they probably don't like long-term projects. And so the entire structure is based on creating something that's allowed to grow. You want something to be able to grow. What stops it from growing? Bad actors, whale dominance, no incentivization to not sell. By shifting this much value into the future, you create incentive to hold because you actually get rewards. And if people do leave, they have to pay a buy tax, they have to pay a sell tax, they have to forfeit the rewards. They're shifting a lot of value to like everybody in the future. They're saying, I'm going to take my profits, but I'm going to leave all that value in the future. What the goal of this is to create a project where the community can actually be united in the future growth of the project, so that when people do leave, it's not just that they're leaving a project, but it's that they're leaving a community that's working together to grow the project. And so as long as sentiment and the confidence in the project is high, then people will hold, they will buy dips, they will hold more. And so you just need a structure that helps align everybody's incentives with the growth of the project. The only way to do that is to take what everybody's seeking in the liquidity pool, preserve it from the destruction of the liquidity pool or the loss of the liquidity pool through a stablecoin, give it out in the future, and reward the people who keep the project alive. If you're staking and you hit these reward events, you're going to be rewarded the most. Whoever has the most tokens is going to get the most stablecoin rewards. But there's a couple cool ideas here. Let me try to not forget it. The first idea is that even if you're the smallest wallet in this staking pool, the rewards are greater than what the smallest wallets in SafeMoon or Evergrow would have gotten, because SafeMoon and Evergrow was going to every single wallet, whereas this is only going to the stakers. And we have a higher tax. So the higher tax already starts you as having more rewards than both SafeMoon and Evergrow. And then the amount of people that don't stake, which it's unlikely to be everybody, that increases your rewards. And then everybody who leaves, who forfeits the rewards, that increases your rewards. It's increasing the rewards not just for the big guys, but for the little guys as well, in a lot of ways, So it's very impactful. It's very meaningful, and I think it's something that people can just be secure about the future growth of the project. And the final component to Control Token, because we're probably going to launch in probably 3 weeks. I'm just waiting on the website to be done, and once we launch, then we'll be able to, the final key is going to be just working together as a community to grow the project. And I think that we've created a structure you can feel safe in. If you know that other whales, if they sell, that they forfeit their rewards and they pay a tax into those rewards, then you know that it's not like in a taxless project. If somebody sells, there's nothing good there. Like, it's, oh crap, they sold. I hope that we get more buyers so that I can sell. There's no value that's being shifted into the future. There's no positives to a sell-off. So, the entire point of Control Token is to take that control away from the people who destroy the project and give it to the people who keep a project alive. So, anybody has anything they want to say, you guys are welcome to. I honestly, for me, when I look at DeFi, I'm like, that's a pyramid scam. That's not going to work. That's a narrative that's only going to benefit the people that got in early. You might get lucky chasing some stuff, but really it's going to be the people at the top who have those massive gains. Free gender was $20. Wow, thanks, man. You're awesome. You need to call it the lunar event for the 2%, the season event for the 4%, and the solar eclipse for the 12%. I'm thinking of how the art would look now. That would help people get behind it. They're just that are just into mumbo jumbo. Yeah, we thought about, or I thought about doing different stages of the moon into a like solar eclipse, full moon event. I thought the full moon event is what I was thinking for the control event. And so it can have multiple names. It can be the control event, but the idea is that there's going to be a countdown on the timer on the website, which is being worked on right now. We've made some good progress, and the counter is going to count down to when the vault opens, the moon vault. It has the highest tax in it. It has all the tokens in it, and it has potentially rewards that we're fueling it with along the way. And so the idea is that you utilize a community for the benefit of itself. With SafeMoon, the community was one of the most powerful communities out there, and swap partners were being listed, and SafeMoon would lose on that. The holders would lose, the insider trading would happen, and then they'd pay $250,000 to get listed. SafeMoon holders wouldn't see a dollar of that, and it's not helping them. You know what I mean? So if we have big spaces and people want to promote their projects, they can come on. They can send us stablecoin. We probably wouldn't accept the token. They send us $2,000, $5,000, $10,000. Cool, we send that to monthly rewards, and everybody gets those monthly rewards. That's an awesome way to utilize the community for its own benefit, to not abuse the power at the top to benefit yourself, but to utilize the strength of a community coming together to benefit it and to allow it to grow. And so I think there's such a massive desire for a project that grows long term and that distributes wealth in a more fair way. I think people just don't realize it. Everybody wants to be a big red candle. Everybody wants to be at the top. But I think that people just haven't really thought like, oh, what if there was a structure that helped more people than just the people at the top? You know what I mean? So that's why I say you can morally feel better about this project. You tell your friends or family about this. Worst case scenario, if a sell-off happens, they still get those stablecoin rewards by staking. Like no other project can make that claim. And that's why I say to people, like, if you don't like this idea, you've got all of DeFi. Look at all these rugs, scammers, pump and dumps. It doesn't matter. Every project almost ends like that. And even good projects that have solid founders with solid funding and, even real utilities, the pump, the dump, everybody's waiting for utilities to change the charts. And so, I think you can get fed up with crypto and give up on it, or you can try to solve it. And I think that most people just aren't solving it. They're trying to create real businesses around a pyramid scheme. You're trying to create ideas on top of a pyramid scheme, and then you have to convince people that it's not a pyramid scheme or that they're early in the pyramid scheme. Meanwhile, this narrative almost always only benefits the people at the top who take profits. That's it. So by creating the structure, you can just be confident in the structure that, like, the whales are going to be more confident in the future growth of this project. Even if whales do sell, they leave behind a lot of value for the other whales. The more whales that leave, the more the whales who stay have a lot more value that they're going to get. It'd be like if you were a whale in Evergrow or SafeMoon and you watched all these other whales start leaving, you're like, oh wow, I just got all their rewards, and they just paid into those rewards. And it's stablecoin. It's not even like a token that can go down. It's guaranteed. It's preserved by the dollar. And I'm going to be getting those rewards. So you'll have your people that like play the long term, going for the 12 months. Another huge component to this is that volume with reward projects usually only lasts months. SafeMoon, the volume goes way up, it goes way down, and it doesn't last that long. And then it's just kind of dead, and there's no more rewards. There's no more passive income as we're all looking for. There's really nothing to look forward to. But by pushing all the rewards into the future, the idea is if we get consistent volume, it'll keep increasing those rewards over a long period of time. And we might have, if this does what I'm aiming to do, I can't guarantee anything, right? It's just what I'm aiming to do, and I think it has a good chance to do it, or I wouldn't have done this project, is to have long-term volume that feeds rewards. Those rewards are permanent. They cannot go down until they're distributed. They can only go up. The rewards put a natural demand on the liquidity pool. Like, this is another insane thing that came out of thinking of this idea. So many good things came out of it. So you got your rewards, right? And the rewards, they can't go down. They just get bigger and bigger because we give them out in a bigger and bigger manner. And that's how the tax is structured. The liquidity pool can go up and down. So if the liquidity pool goes way up and then it goes down, that fed the rewards. Well, if you could buy here and you could buy $100, and let's say these monthly rewards was for $100 worth of tokens, you would get, let's just say, $100, right? Well, who's not going to do that? What outside holder or inside holder is going to look at rewards and be like, oh, wow, I could put in 100 and get $100 right before those rewards. Well, you put in 100, you pay that tax, that causes it to go up. Anybody sells, it causes those rewards to go up. The only way that you can get less rewards is if more people are staking. And if more people are staking, that means that they're buying. That means that they're raising the price. No matter what, value is going either to the liquidity pool or it's going to the rewards. There is no way to avoid that. Sometimes even when the devs are honest and have the best of intentions, projects still go bad because of the unanticipated effects of the market forces, security breaches, etc. Yeah, so we're auditing the staking, we're auditing the contract, we're locking liquidity. I'm very safe. I'm armed. If anybody tried to do anything stupid with me, they'd probably get shot. Looking forward to this project and the potential rewards locked in BUSD. Oh yeah. So the coolest part, one of the coolest parts about this is this is the future rewards. What this does, it's a permanent story value narrative and belief or hype. People get hyped about the value in the liquidity pool as it goes up. Well, you can be hyped about these future rewards. People got hyped about the potential rewards with SafeMoon and the potential rewards with Evergrow, the actual rewards with Evergrow. And so if you could buy $100 and get those rewards, you're going to. What that means is that the rewards in the future put a natural demand on the liquidity pool. If people can buy, it's going to be, they're going to, if they can get those good rewards. So it doesn't just put a natural demand on it, but it also puts a potential demand. These rewards can only go up. With buys or sells, these rewards continue to go up. And so what that does is that creates a floor. That's why I say natural demand, that's the floor. The value of control token can only go so low before the future permanent rewards is great enough that buying the token would result in more rewards than the cost of the token. And so I'll be making videos on that eventually to show that price. Obviously the price isn't going to go down to that floor, but that there will be a floor created by natural demand of the value of the liquidity pool, or the value of the future permanent stablecoin rewards. And so everybody's talking about narrative and story and hype and belief with the liquidity pool, which goes way up and way down, and it's bizarre, right? And it's a pyramid scheme. But with the future permanent rewards, it only gets bigger and bigger. We're preserving the life of the project. That's why I say everybody's paying a tax to keep the project alive, because the tax goes towards the people that keep the project alive. What did this project potential rewards locked in BUSD? Yeah, the rewards are going to be XUSD. This final thing for anybody who might be tuning in is the rewards can't go down, the value of those rewards. Let's just say, hypothetically, the 6-month rewards are, let's just say they're $400,000. It's hypothetical. That cannot go down. And let's say the 12-month rewards is $2 million. The rewards, and we're here, right? Let's just say we're in June, and we're about to get the 6-month, we're about to get the 12-month rewards, and that you have the rest of this time for those rewards to go up. So the rewards cannot go down, but here's the crazy part, is the value of those rewards can only go up as well. So the rewards can't go down, the amount of the rewards can't go down, and the value of the rewards can't go down. But the rewards can only go up, and the value of those rewards can only go up as well, because it's XUSD, which is a delayed utility appreciating stablecoin. So yeah, if you get, let's just say your rewards, let's say the product does really well, and you get, let's just say $100,000 in rewards. Well, if the XUSD goes from $1 to $1.70, say it goes up a lot because of whatever it is Mark's working on, then your rewards will be $170,000. So we're not just rewarding in a stable coin, or we're not rewarding in reflections, which can go up or down with the liquidity pool and usually go down and it loses its value. The rewards are like, it's like a magic trick that made you think you had something, but it actually lost all its value. We're not just rewarding in a stable coin, which preserves that value, which is super nice. We're not just rewarding in a stable coin that's only going to the stakers, which increases that value, which is super nice. We're not just rewarding in a stable coin that only goes to the stakers, but we're delaying it, which means everybody who leaves the project forfeits all the big value they would get in the future, which is super nice. But we're also, the value of those rewards can only go up with a utility delayed appreciating stablecoin. This is the kind of stuff that would blow people's minds. This is why I say when it came to SafeMoon, I'm not trying to crap on SafeMoon, but SafeMoon was designed as a rug. You're thinking about what went through Kyle's mind when he designed SafeMoon. He thought, I'm going to copy B token and I'm going to rug people. I'm going to design something in order to benefit myself. I'm going to design a pyramid scheme where I put myself at the top. The swap partners, the mindset, everything was designed to benefit the people at the top at the cost of the people underneath them. It was lies, it was deception, it was misleading. And so that's how SafeMoon was created. This is a crazy part to me. And so, control token is the complete opposite approach. It's like, how do we balance wealth distribution? How do we give people, how do we help people? How do we give to more people instead of just the sellers? How do we incentivize growth and longevity? This is the structure, the thought process that went into control token. And I spent a long time learning about tokenomics and studying what wallets are eligible for reflections and making videos on this stuff. It's kind of what I focused on when I got into DeFi was rewards. That's how I was so bullish on Evergrow and why so many people followed me into Evergrow, because I was able to demonstrate how cheap the price was and how much better the rewards are. And so people followed me, they made great rewards, and they made huge a lot of money selling as well. And so this, in my opinion, is far superior than SafeMoon or even Evergrow. And I hope nobody takes that personally. I'm still friends with Sam and Paul, but Sam and Paul didn't create Evergrow. Somebody else did. They're not even the creators of it. Sam got brought on as a chairman, and Paul got brought on later on. So just don't take this as an attack on Sam or Paul. I was a YouTuber for Evergrow. I'm not attacking Evergrow. I'm just saying Evergrow's design only benefited once the whales took profit. There was nothing to look forward to. There was no more volume, and the price action was down because they're still stuck with the problem of the liquidity pool. There's nothing to incentivize the future growth of the project. Now you need utilities that produce a profit, and it has to be a lot of profit. It has to be huge in order to actually benefit the ecosystem. In order to cause either another price run, or in order to be so good that staking actually rewards you. So control token is designed by not just having what I believe is the best tokenomics ever created, the best reward structure that incentivizes the growth of the project, that rewards those who keep it alive, punishes those who sell. You can still sell and make a lot of money. Like if you get in, you get 100x, you get 100,000, you probably have tens of thousands of dollars in rewards in the future at that point. Then you'd be selling for 80 grand, you'd be putting $20,000 into those rewards in the future, and you'd get your 80 grand, you'd forfeit tens of thousands of dollars in the future, plus the 20 grand that you put into it, plus the fact that those rewards can only go up whether buys or sells happen, plus the potential of the price going up. Usually when you go to sell, only thing you're worried about is, oh crap, what if the price goes up? That's the only thing you're worried about. With this, you go, what if the price goes up? What if the rewards go up? And you have to pay into those rewards. What's the full research supply? The supply, we're probably looking at 1 billion. So we're probably going to be doing 1 billion on the supply. Instead of 1 quadrillion, it'll be 1 billion. So I think 1 billion tokens, like how we had 1 billion tokens with SafeMoon and Evergrow, that'll come out to like 1,000 tokens. It will be the equivalent. But right now probably is the cheapest price to do. That's why people, when I tell people, I'm like, I get it. You get burned on pre-sales and stuff, but this pre-sale, you put in $1,000. When we launch, the amount of control token you have is going to say $1,000. If you tried to sell right at launch, you'd be paying a 20% sell fee and forfeiting the monthly rewards and the potential price action, and you would be at $800. If anybody sells at launch, they'd be selling at a loss. What does that mean? We can only move up. What does that mean? we're starting a project with upward momentum. As we move up, our voice, our message gets louder, and I believe that this message that we have, nobody has a message like Control Token. It stands out from the rest of DeFi. It deals with the problem of what everybody's experiencing in DeFi. I don't want the bad actors. I don't want the pump and dumpers. I don't want to even go about marketing in a traditional way of having a bunch of people market it so they can pump it and dump it. So the people that have cabals or whatever, that they have groups of people that they go from project to pump it, to dump it, all of that. It's just all this manipulation. Like, I don't like you guys. And I don't want you guys here. I know eventually if this does well, you will come, but even if a bad actors do come into this, they're going to pay that buy tax. They're going to pay the sell tax. They're going to have to forfeit their rewards if they leave before their rewards. That's the point of this structure, is to protect the holders and to protect the growth of the project. So I think when people hear me talking about a project, I'm just like, no, you got it. You just hear me out. Just understand this. Trust me, I've listened to like thousands of projects over the years covering DeFi, and I've had this one up my sleeve the entire time. And I've been like, I have to ask people, I'm like, why do people expect to make money in your project? And sometimes I've turned down thousands of dollars just because they didn't know that. They're like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, why? What do you want me to tell people? Like, what's your vision? Why would they expect to make money? And they're like, we don't know. And I'm like, okay, well, I was like, I can make a video, but people aren't going to be very bullish on it. They're like, no, I'm glad you asked us this. And like, I just never covered them because I'm like, what's your vision and is it realistic? Because that's my job, is to like try to help portray your vision of your project realistically and let people decide for themselves. But the entire time I've had Control Token up my sleeve. I'm like, I've got something that's just better than all of this. And it's better than most projects because every project is building on a liquidity pool, which is a pyramid structure, which gives all the power over the future of the project to the early buyers. Once they sell, the project's dead. There's nothing to look forward to. So the entire point is we need to take control away from the people that destroy the project, give it to the people that keep it alive. The community wants to grow a project. Most communities, the amount of effort and energy that they'll put into marketing and making things and telling other people about it and supporting it is insane, right? Because they see the potential of their dreams coming true in DeFi. That's why they're willing to put kind of their lives on the line, in the sense that they're willing to give up their time and effort and energy and money to help a project grow, just like we did with SafeMoon. And so the point is that gets destroyed by the pyramid structure, and we need a place where that can be united. And so by creating this tax system that weeds out bad actors and it draws in long-term thinkers, we can actually be united in the future growth of the project. And I think this project can allow a community to come together like no other community. I do have a plan, and I can't guarantee success, guys. All I can guarantee is I'm not going to rug, I'm not stealing, and every point of design is about the long-term future growth of the project that shares wealth to more than just the people at the top. That's the goal of the project. And so for more info on Control Token, check out this project. ControlToken.net is the website for anybody who wants to check it out. What was I going to say? I mean, I could talk about Control Token forever, but the main thing I'm trying to get at for people is that they can just understand it before you make your decision. I don't want you to say, I'm not trying to get you to buy, I'm not trying to get you to sell or whatever. I'm just trying to give you the opportunity to decide for yourself. If you guys followed me into Evergrow, you remember me saying those words. I was super bullish on it, but I was like, I'm not trying to convince you, but I'm super excited. This is why I'm excited, but I just want you to decide for yourself. Obviously, I feel that way about Control Token now, but I think we have something far superior, because we're dealing with the problem that every single project stops every project from growing, which is whale dominance, and the fact that the liquidity pool incentivizes the death of the project. How are you as the dev going to profit, make money for yourself, just buying with your own money? Yep, I bought the pre-sale with 2 BNB. I'm not rich. Put about 2 BNB into the pre-sale when BNB was like closer to 500. So I put in about 1,000. I also can be paid from 2% of the treasury that goes to the tax, buy and sell tax. 2% goes to the treasury, and that can be used to pay me, to pay marketing, to pay dev work. Starting off, I'm going to be doing full-time marketing, making content every day, doing spaces, making images. It's going to be a one-man army until the community starts to help me, and if the right people start to stand out, I can start, because I kind of do need help as far as people that I can trust who understand the vision that can help help the project do well. I just think that's going to come naturally. But right now, I don't need somebody right now. Right now, I can make content. I can do spaces. I can make images. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing for years. But yeah, it's used to pay myself. It's just whatever it is. 2% can be used to pay me. It can be used to pay the devs. If we come up with a utility that we want to add to that, I don't want people's belief to be in a utility, but if we come up with a utility that seems like a cool idea, we can add it to the control event. Or if we just want to do partnerships with marketing, like, oh, let's pay this guy to do a space or pay these guys to make videos or whatever it might be. But I have a completely different approach to everything. As you can tell, I think that all of DeFi is doing it wrong, and I think there's a better way to do it, a more honest, realistic way to do it that doesn't only benefit the people at the top. So the goal of marketing is to use it to give back to the community. If you come in and you are working every day to help the project grow, like, I think that person should be rewarded. Somebody who, if you, like Jeremy for Safeman, you go put up a Safeman and you go start going around New York while selling food or whatever, or the ice cream cones, snow cones, and it says Safeman on it, you should send him some money. You should reward your community. And so the treasury will be used for that, but ultimately the treasury can be used for whatever I and whoever else who happens to join the team decide. I could use it to pay myself. If I want to pay it, that's fully up to me, and anybody joining the project or buying into the project needs to understand that. But I think, once again, you'll find that it's going to be used for the benefit of the community, and I have plans with it that I can't tell people right now. But if we do well, you'll see what we do with that. Craig, good question. No, that's a great question. So I watched with SafeMoon. They didn't put any way for them to pay themselves or to pay for anything that they were working on. So you just use part of the tax for that, 2% is not an insane amount, For every $1 million in volume, it comes out to about 20 grand for $1 million in volume. So that's quite a bit in volume. If we do really well, then we'll have a lot for marketing that we can spend. Yeah. If anybody else has any questions, drop them down on the YouTube side of things. I might go on a little longer, but probably not too much longer. If you guys are here and you guys don't mind doing me a favor, just hit the like button. My goal is just to reach people with the message, because I'm like, once you understand Control Token, I think it'll start to blow your mind. I can't stop thinking about it. The more I look at DeFi, I'm like, oh yeah, that project rug, yep, this is why Control Token. And then I look at more projects, I'm like, oh dude, this is why I got to get Control Token launched. Here's the plan for Control Token is, we've got Mitch Bromwell here, and this is what I say is, like, I need to try to really make this look like a rocket ship and not weird. How do you draw a rocket ship without it looking like something that it shouldn't look like? Okay, it's a weird looking rocket ship, but to avoid it looking like anything else, we're just going to stick with a square shape. I don't draw rocket ships that often. Derek Cross, welcome to chat. How you doing, man? What will be the starting price? That hasn't been determined yet, but it'll be whatever you put in. Obviously not now, but a really clean UI website would be attractive. We're working on one, but we can always update it if we get more money. Just doing the best we can with what we got right now. Let's go. What's up, Crypto Savage? Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hitting the like, guys. I appreciate you guys. So here's what I would say is, we're trying to build a rocket ship, and this rocket ship is really important to you guys, right? If this is life-changing money for you, then obviously you'd be willing, what would you be willing to do for $1 million? Probably some crazy stuff, right? Probably go into a pit of snakes or face your worst fears. You probably do like a Mr. Beast challenge, live near a volcano for 100 days. Like, I don't know, that's probably going to be one of his challenges eventually. Can you list on Flues? It's free, so I can buy it with card. I don't use exchanges. I use MoonPay. You can use MoonPay on your Trust Wallet CGA to buy it. You can use any DeFi wallet to buy it. It's just going to be on the BNB chain. How many tokens would one BNB get you? We're not sure yet because of the supply. We'll have all that once we launch. Then I'll be able to do all the numbers and stuff. So the rocket ship, guys, we all come together and we want to build this. This is a really important, like, this is your livelihood, you helping your family. Like, it's really important. And so, if we wanted to build a physical rocket ship, would you go and just tell everybody, "Hey, we're building a rocket ship. Everybody, come get in the ship, and I'll throw it together, and let's see how far we get." Like that's the last thing you would do. You would probably try to get people that are qualified and be like, "Who could I find that would be smart and responsible and understand the vision so that we can see, keep an eye out, and if we see any problems, they won't be overly optimistic, like, oh no, it's a great thing that there's a leak. Oh, that screw came out. That's okay. That's positive." No, people that don't just turn everything into a positive, but people that approach and recognize problems and so that they can deal with them in a real way. That's kind of what all of Control Token is me approaching and recognizing the problem of DeFi to deal with it in a real way. But one of the most important components of this, unlike SafeMoon, not trying to crap on SafeMoon, we all reinforced an unrealistic mindset that took every idea, turned it into why it was a positive for SafeMoon, and then judged anybody who didn't believe it. It was quite the amazing mindset to have on people. The mindset that we have is super important. It has to be realistic. We have to be honest, we have to be realistic, and we have to reinforce that kind of thinking within the community of Control Token. We're much more likely to get a rocket to the moon if we're realistic, as opposed to just being super hype and positive, and turning anything down that sounds negative, right? That's not good. So, in order to get the rocket ship to go to the moon, we have to come up with a real plan. We have to understand how do we get the movement, the thrust, and how do we stop it from blowing up? How do we seal it? How do we get ourselves to stay in the seeds without dying? How do we get the oxygen? How do we have food? We have to plan realistically, right? You guys get the idea of what I'm saying. And so it's the same way. How do we get a project to grow? And I'm saying I've already kind of dealt with those issues as far as whale dominance by countering the negative incentives of the liquidity pool. But how do we work together as a community to actually get this project to do well? You only need one project to do well. Who cares what it's called? If it's called crap token, if it's called wall token, it doesn't matter. Who cares what the name is? You only need one to do really well. And I think that there is a massive need or desire in this space for something that grows and rewards more than just the people at the top. And I think I have the solution to it. And so when it comes to getting this rocket ship to do well, I'd say, or Control Token, and this is just my understanding of it. Where can we see the tokenomics? You can go to controltoken.net. If you go to the very bottom right, it'll say white paper on the very bottom. It's kind of tiny, and you can look at more of the tokenomics there. Just asking theoretically. Oh, you're totally fine. I am you, the god. SafeMoon, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Simon Fluck, thanks for coming in. What's up, Cray? If Control Token is in the LP and the token fails, wouldn't that make a Luna 2.0? What do you mean? Can you word that? In the LP, I saw BUSD mentioned. No, there's no BUSD. Is that the only LP reserve, or is BNB in there plus Control Token as well? Too much liquidity would make the price never move up, if I'm not wrong. No, it'll be BNB. There is ways that we could connect it to another liquidity pool with the... I haven't explained that. I guess I could do that real fast, but we could have two liquidity pools. You can have one that has BNB in it, and you have another liquidity pool that has Control Token and XUSD, the appreciating stablecoin. So it starts at $1 or whatever it's at, and it only moves up slowly over time. BNB obviously can drastically go up or down. It hit an all-time high of, what was it, 700 recently. It's a little bit down from that. But the BNB pool will also have the Control Token in it, and so what we can do is we can give this access to each other so that they can get the trades, the arbitrage trade, before anybody else can get it, and without the fee, so that it will automatically arbitrage these two pools. So as the price of XUSD slowly goes up, it'll keep balancing that with the BNB, and as BNB fluctuates, it'll stabilize it with this other liquidity pool that'll produce arbitrage profit, and that can be used to fee the rewards or something else as well. But we will be tied to BNB, and we can always potentially deal with that in the future. But here's my plan, guys. Let me just go over what my plan is. First of all, one of the main points of the plan is that a lot of you guys are smarter than me. You're going to know things I don't know. When it comes to certain areas, you're going to come up with ideas that I might not think of. So the goal is to unite a community. Not just to have ideas for the sake of having an idea, but for like, hey, if somebody thinks of something that's actually going to cause us to do well as far as marketing, as far as potentially utility, or whatever it may be, we want to come together and work together. We don't want to disregard the community, and we want to work with the community. The community is the team that's going to cause this project to grow. It's like, it's up to you guys. How far do you want to take this? It's going to be up to you guys. I can help with marketing. I can do videos. I don't have control over the price. I've designed this in a way to give the power back to the community, and now it's up to the community. How high do you want to take this project? And that's what it'll come down to. So that's why I say at launch, the number one goal is not going to be rewards off the start. It's not going to be, let's sit back and let's just get rewards and let's see if these rewards, and like, oh, what, man, these rewards aren't very high. The entire point of this project is it's designed for growth. And so the goal is going to be to understand that the more we go up, the louder our message gets, and we have a message that separates itself from the rest of DeFi. The message of control is, in my opinion, an extremely powerful one. Even right now, before we launch, it's an extremely powerful one. It's like crypto's a pyramid scheme, only the people at the top win. No matter what narrative you build on top of a liquidity pool, it's only going to benefit the people at the top. Everybody else is going to lose to buy into a false idea. Control token balances that, and it incentivizes the growth of the project. That message is going to get louder and louder. The most exciting time of a project, if you were in Evergrow, it's in the beginning. This is like the opportunity. At launch is when you can have the potential to see the biggest gains, and it can go parabolic. It can get insane. The more people hold, the more the price goes up. It's like a Squid Games token. Nobody could sell, so the price went to like some crazy freaking market cap until it rugged. That's what happens when you don't sell. People get more and more bullish. They buy more and more. They tell more people get in. As you see something keep going up, you're going to get in. That's what happened with Evergrow. So I think we have a structure unlike anybody to allow that to reach its full potential. This is what I say is most projects I think are cut short. And they're cut short by the main reasons of what I'm talking about. The bad actors and the whale dominance. The bad actors rug the project, do a bad pre-sale to start with that moves downward, and then the whale dominance, once they sell, the other whales wish they would have sold. If the price goes up anymore, those whales sell, and the project's dead because so much sell pressure is being given, and the power is over the future of the project's being given to the hands of a very small group of people who control the future of the project. So the most exciting time is going to be the beginning. And so us as a community, we have to work to see like, hey guys, yeah, maybe we could hit this market cap that you guys think would be a good market cap. But with something like this, I'm saying let's not aim low. Let's say like, what is the potential? Usually with most projects, it gets cut very short of what the price would go to. I'm saying most projects don't even realize what their potential is, and we have something, or we as a community can hit that. Whatever that potential is, whatever market cap that is, whatever price that is. I can't legally like talk about price or do price predictions because I could get in trouble. But if people buy, the price goes up. I can say that. That's just a matter of fact. If people hold, the price goes up. The more that people hold, the more the price goes up. And we've created a structure where people can be confident in that. So at launch, in 2 to 3 weeks, probably 3 weeks, the goal is going to be not rewards on the monthly, 6-month, and 12-month. The goal is going to be how high can we take this project? How much can we grow? And I believe that we can be something that everybody's talking about. I think right now I'm blending in with everybody else, and people are like, yeah, sure. And they're like thinking about, man, Control Token, he started that project. No, Simon Fluck, it works a little bit differently. Like if you buy, you pay, $100, $15 of the tax goes to that. You have 85. If you immediately sell, you pay 20% of that. So that's a fifth of 85. So it puts it at, you getting like, what was it, 60 something dollars back or something like that. No, I'm not going to launch a blockchain. No. Is there any project who try tax that high? Yeah, Simon Fluck, there's Evergrow did 14% in and out, so that came out to 28%. Here's another thing that people don't realize about this, and I'm not saying do a tax for the sake of doing a tax. The entire point is to shift value from the liquidity pool into the future to help grow the project. But with a high tax, you buy, you're below. If you sell, you're even less. So you have to wait just to get to the point where you'd be even, and then you have to wait till you get in profit. Tax tokens actually create natural holding period times And it it's just something that you can be confident knowing that that value is going to the people who keep the project alive. Like, if I asked you the question, hey, what if everybody paid a tax to keep the project alive? You'd probably be like, what do you mean? How would you do that? And I'd say, well, you convert it to a stable coin and you give it out in the future. And so everybody who leaves the project, they leave something behind, not only for the people who are left behind, but something that can incentivize growth. More people can buy into it. And it keeps going up with buys and sells. Those rewards in the future keep going up. So the more we grow in the beginning, the higher the permanent future we secure for the life of control token for the first year. The higher we go, the market cap and then the sell off or whatever that might be, this probably still will happen. These future permanent rewards will be secured. So if we hit like some insane, Evergrow was like 300 to 400 million in volume. They did I'm blanking right now, 80 million in rewards or something like that. If we hit that kind of volume, obviously that's very high, and we had $80 million in rewards in the future, the price could only go so low before people could easily buy and get more in rewards than what they put in, right? That's just a fact of math. Obviously, it's going to be 13% of whatever the buys are and 18% of the sells. And the more the sell-off happens, the more cheaper it will be to get the token, to get those permanent future rewards. So that's why our goal in the beginning has to be, hey, we understand that this is the easiest time to get momentum. We have to capitalize on this. We have to work together as a team to take this project as high as we can possibly go. Some of the ways you can do that is overcoming dips together as a community, convincing people who do sell to do it in a healthy way. If you're selling, sell it in 20th, sell it in 10th, sell it slowly over time, allow the project to keep growing. But the initial thing is going to be the most fun part. It's like, hey guys, rewards are awesome. They can be awesome, but we need to focus on the growth. This is the most crucial, important time of a project in its beginnings where it can get the most momentum, and we need to see how high we can take that, because that's literally what this project is designed for, is to go to to realize its potential of what it could grow to by creating a structure where whales can be more confident in the future of the project, as opposed to a taxless project where after you sell there's nothing left. Everybody fears that because that's the reality of what's going on in DeFi. So the goal is we reach our potential, we work together as a community. You know, if somebody wants to sell, that's fine. You know, hey, try to sell it in tenths, try to sell it slowly. Even if somebody does do a big sell, the rest of us can see it as a buying opportunity, and the rest of us can overcome. If we create a mindset where everybody's thinking about the future growth of the project, and we reinforce that within the community will overcome sell-offs, and it'll keep growing into the control event. That's the goal. So that we can, the more we grow in the beginning, the more permanent future we secure for ourselves. So I'll be working with you guys to do that. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm pretty excited to see what it does. Let's just say the control event happens, the first one. I'll do this and I'll probably get off. If there is now real objective or utility, where does the good tax use the money and how? Hey, Simon Fluck, let me answer your utility question really fast. The utility, here's what I would say utility is. It doesn't have to be a product. It's just something that meets, this is how I would define a utility. Something that meets a need, or, this is the important part, a desire. You know, you can generate money off of OnlyFans. Obviously, we're not going to do that. You can be funny, and people will pay for that. That's not needed. There's not a need for that, technically. But if you're funny, if you're entertaining, people like that. And so this is where I would ask is, what is the number one desire of crypto? It's a project that grows. A project that grows, a project that distributes wealth to more than just the people at the top. And so when we talk about not having a utility, I believe we have the ultimate utility through the tax. I think it solves that desire. I think it meets that desire. Whether you think that's bullcrap or whatever, that's up to you to decide. I'm just saying this is, to me, a realistic approach to what's actually going on in DeFi. Everybody wants to be part in this project that blows up, that does well, that doesn't get rugged, that isn't manipulated, exploited, because they're tired of getting rugged. How many times can you put in 500, 1,000, $10,000 into a project and get rugged and want to stay in DeFi? There is a massive desire for a project that lasts, that grows, that's safer. That's why Safe Moon did so well, because it says safe into the moon. Just turns out that Reflections was a sham, and it only empowered whale dominance, which allowed the whales to keep the price down. So what was I going to say? The last thing I was going to say. Okay, so yeah, the control event happens. Here's what could happen hypothetically. If we do well, the people that get an early stake, they get their rewards. They're huge rewards, and they can still sell. They sell. There's a massive sell-off hypothetically after the control event, after the 12 months from when we launch. So next year, in July or whatever. probably going to be launching right around July, or right in July, somewhere around there. So a huge sell-off happens. Well, if a massive sell-off happens, then everybody just fueled the monthly rewards, the 6-month rewards, and the 12-month rewards again. If the control event is good and people go, wow, that was awesome, they're going to go, wait, what if this happens again? What if this structure incentivizes growth again into another control event that's maybe half as big, or even just as big, or maybe bigger? If the control event does well, then that's what's going to be going on in people's minds is, oh crap, what if this happens again? This will be seen as a massive buying opportunity. This will fuel the monthly rewards for that. If a massive sell-off happens, the monthly rewards can be huge. The rewards are going to be even bigger for the 6-month. Those can't go down, and the 12-month, and those can't go down either. There will always be this value unless there's zero volume. And if you have zero volume and then the rewards are distributed, then you're back where the project's at. Simon Fluck says, I think the tokenomics is good, but something is missing, a mission or something to achieve other than just growing the value of something. So that's fine if you feel that way. That's the thing, is people are going to disagree with me. I'm not going to agree with everybody on everything. I think that this project is meeting the desire. If you're buying projects in DeFi because you want to be part of a company that's actually doing something revolutionary in the world, then look for projects that are that are doing utility. If you're buying something that's a meme coin, what is that? Oh, it's just a meme. It's a dog. It's a cat. It's a dog with hat. You know what I mean? It's like, what's the mission behind that? I'm just being real about this. Your goal is to buy something in order to make a profit. And so do you either want to do that or not? You know what I mean? If you want this secondary feeling like you're a part of something, or it needs to feel like there's a mission, I'm just saying, why pretend like it's not, like it's something other than what it is? People want to make money. They want to see their backs go to the moon. That's what the goal of this project is to create a place where a community can make that happen. And so I think diverting away from that is diverting away from what people really want. I do kind of get the idea of what you're saying, but I kind of, the mission would be to reward people investing, hence the terms rewards. Not everyone has money to buy 65K, and holds that to 1 million. Well, we can talk more, man. You can message me on Twitter, and I can hear you out. I'm not going to agree with everything everybody says. Everybody's not going to agree with me. I'm not always going to be right. Sometimes I'm going to be wrong. Sometimes you guys are going to be wrong. But ultimately, this is my project, and I'll always make the decision of what's best for the growth of the project. And that decision does come down to me. Obviously, you're agreeing to that by being a part of Control Token. But you're going to find that I'll hear your ideas out, but they have to make sense to me, and they have to resonate with me. The entire point of, where did my pen go? This is what DeFi is. DeFi is you convince somebody to buy into an idea, or anybody convinces you to buy into an idea. You believe that idea, and you believe it's going to make you money. That idea is built on a pyramid scheme. That's just the structure of a liquidity pool. There's no way to get away from that. It's going to benefit the people at the top, whatever idea they believe. There's a ton of people who believe that idea, and it doesn't turn out to be true for them. They don't make money. Only the people at the top did. Only the people who took profits, whether they be little or large, usually it's only people taking large profits because people aren't looking for tiny gains, win. And so this idea can be utility. It can be marketing, like, oh, we have this, Snoop Dogg's going to market this. Partnerships, it can be a meme. But it doesn't matter, because all it comes down to is whether or not people believe this idea or not. The idea cannot be true. SafeMoon was not safe, but people believed in it. And so belief in an idea causes it to do well. My goal is to shift people's belief from utilities, marketing, partnerships, onto themselves and saying, look, the real power on the charts is coming from you believing in it and an idea. And I'm saying, let me give you an idea that's true to believe in, which is tokenomics, which is wealth distribution that's more fair, that incentivizes the growth of the project. If you feel like you need more, then maybe you're right. And I'm not trying to be harsh with you, but it's like, if you have a better idea, then you can go start that project and maybe it'll do well. This is my idea, and I think that utility is a more convincing idea that causes people to lose money. I've said this a lot. When it comes to utility, I know, just put utility, whatever. Utility. I spelled it wrong. If you could make a utility and it would generate so much profit, so much revenue, that you could feed thousands of holders, and it would actually be valuable to them, it wouldn't just be pennies or dollars, why would you just make that for yourself and make all that money for yourself? Why would you share that with tens to hundreds of thousands of people? And why would you go to crypto instead of going to actual companies or venture capitalism that would actually invest in your idea? Why would you share millions of dollars with other people? I can tell you the reason, and I can tell you what's going on in most of DeFi. It's because it's easier to convince people to believe in an idea to make money off of them than it is to produce something that actually creates real value. The value is in the people that are buying a project. I'm just being honest with you about that. I'm not misleading you in that and saying, oh, look over here, it's the utilities, it's the roadmap, it's the future. It's like, no, it's in you believing an idea. And I just need to give you an idea that's true, something that is long-term that you can believe in. And so everybody, they don't care. This is why they'll buy memes. What is the utility of a meme? What's the roadmap or mission of a meme? It's nothing massive about that. Like, it might start off as a cool idea like Dogecoin, where it feels like it's kind of a middle finger to the financial system or something like that. But the point is anything can go valuable because people, the real thing they're seeking is money. People just want to make money, like, obviously. They don't care what the story is attached to it. It can be a picture of a cat, or it can be a promise of a successful company. Some ideas are really convincing and some aren't, but the entire point is it's built on top of a pyramid scheme. So I'm saying, let's take the desire of the entire space and let's shift it towards what actually works and create a place for that desire to flourish. And if people agree with that, then they're welcome to join Control Token, and if they don't, then that's fine too. You don't have to do this project. When does pre-sale end? Probably about 3 weeks, but we're not 100% sure. Bro, you've been coughing for a month. I've been sick for 2 months probably. The mission would be to reward people invest. Okay, I already read that. Scott B, marketing is all about belief. Real world success reinforces that belief. Yeah, so I'll be working with you guys to try to grow it. Control Token. Control. Taking back control, guys. It's controltoken.net, guys. The pre-sale's going on. It's going to launch at the value you put in. There's not going to be, nobody gets any tokens. The liquidity's locked. And we have a tax structure that incentivizes and rewards the growth of the project. I think it's going to be amazing, but we'll see. I agree with everything you just said. I just believe that with such a way to generate value, you need to go to something better for humanity. I don't think that's needed here. More so the purpose of this is to kind of meet the desire of the space of DeFi. There's a bunch of people out there who don't want to get rugged, who want to be in something that they can hold and watch grow over a long period of time. That's what Control Token's for. It's for those people. So I can't guarantee its success, but I can guarantee that I'm not going to rug. I can guarantee that Nobody's getting any tokens, dude. It's like, why would you give out tokens to anybody? Your mom, your friend, your best friend, yourself? It's just free red candles on the chart once the price goes up that you didn't earn. Why would you do that? Never ever give tokens out to anybody in a project. Don't ever do that. And then the pre-sale, launching pre-sales that get botted, dude, that's a terrible start to a mission where our goal is to go upward. That's what everybody wants. They don't care about utilities. They don't care about what you're making. They want the value of their bag to go up because they're seeking value. They're seeking money. And so I'm saying, hey, let's create something that not only incentivizes the growth of the project through the liquidity pool, but it actually rewards long term. They're getting value either way. You're going to get the value of the liquidity pool, but there's also that permanent future value that's being given out as well. So yeah, we'll be doing an AMA on Sunday, and I'll do this one on YouTube and Twitter, and I'll be answering the comments on both sides. I guess I could do it like this same format somehow, because I feel like people just like would prefer to see your face or something like that. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys liking the video. It helps get it out to more people. Just like this. It helps spread the word. If you believe in Control Token, if you believe in these ideas, then you can be confident in helping get other people a part of it. You know what I mean? That's kind of my goal in the space, is find something I believe in, tell other people about it, let them decide for themselves. I did that with Evergrow. A bunch of people followed me into Evergrow. A bunch of people were super happy. Now I've created something that I personally think is better than Evergrow. I'm not saying it'll do better, but I think it is better by design. I hope it does really well. Anyways, guys, it was great hanging out with everybody. If there's no more questions, then I'll go ahead and end it. Thanks for everyone for tuning in this live stream, and share. Yeah, definitely share it. Share these ideas with Control Token. ControlToken.net has 3 videos on it. Those 3 videos explain the idea really well. And some of those videos are like heavy editing and like really good. And some of the other ones are just me talking, but I'm explaining it really well. It's just like, hey, this is why projects aren't working. It's whale dominance and bad actors. Let's address this problem, and let's distribute wealth more fairly in a way that causes the project to grow and rewards the people who help keep it alive. I keep trying to find simple ways to say it, but the idea is get people. Like I said, we're building a rocket ship, and you want that rocket ship to go far. Go find people that you know, either because of 2 reasons. Like I told my family, I said, I'm launching a project. I'm letting you know so you can decide if you want to buy it or not. I'm confident telling them to get in something like this, but I'm also like, if it does well, I don't want them to say, why didn't you tell me? I'll be like, hey, remember when I told you? They'll be like, yeah, I should have bought it. And I was like, it's okay, but you can't say I didn't tell you. And I'm doing that with you guys too. You guys can't say I didn't tell you. Nobody can say I didn't tell them about Evergrow. Nobody can say I didn't tell them about SquidGrow or Vitreous. And now I've created my own project. I've had this idea for a very long time. And when I look at DeFi, I'm just like, man, I just want to go back to Control Token, because this is all just a mess. It's just pump and dump, scamming, bots, chasing stuff. It's such a disaster of greed and manipulation. That's just a giant dumpster fire is what DeFi is, in my opinion. There's so much greed and manipulation and cheating. Well, it's just everybody's cheating to try to win. And so I think there's good people out there, and I think making this project we're creating a place for those good people to come together and actually cause something to grow. We're the first stage booster launching it up. That's right, Mitch. That's right, Mitch. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it here, guys. I'll see you guys on Sunday. That's tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the AMA. I'll go ahead and schedule that, and I'll do that live on here. You can join on Twitter and talk to me and voice your concerns or what you like about it, anything. Or you can just do it in the comment section on YouTube. I'll be doing that tomorrow after I get off of church. So I'll probably schedule that for 1 or 2. I'm thinking maybe closer to 1 Central Time. Anyways, guys, thanks for showing up. Thanks to everybody who likes the stream. And like I said, tell people about Control Token, whether it just be a good idea or whether you know that this person will be good for our project. We want a strong community that can work together to take this to heights. It's the last thing I'll say is, and this is kind of an important thing, so I regret not saying this earlier, is in order to go to a massive growth that involves us early buyers sitting on large amounts of money. You have to sit on 10K, 50K, 100K, 200K, 400K, 500K. And so if you want a project to go to this insane price, that involves you sitting on that money all the way to that price of whatever it is. And so the goal of Control Token is to take control back, give it to the community, and let the early buyers, you're kind of the most important part of this project, the people who get the most power, who have the most ability to pull the most value out of the liquidity pool. You have the ability to determine the future of the project. Now, you have a lot less in this project, and you forfeit a lot of value in this project. That's the entire point of what I keep reiterating. But if we can, on top of this structure, work together as a community, I think that this will be a project that everybody will be talking about, that could be something that changes the game. Everybody will be chasing reward projects again, and they'll be trying to copy it and all that stuff. So smell you later. All right, Crypto 7 sounds good. Next will be second stage of the Control Token. That's right, Mitch. All right, guys, I'm going to jump out of here. You guys have a great